Good morning to all of you. Welcome to the session. Let us start the session with a nice quote. What is today's quote? Set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. I will repeat. Set your goals high and don't stop till you get there. We should always set our goals high and we should not stop till we reach the goals, the high goals or the lofty goals. A very useful quote while preparing for competitive exams. Now, welcome to this session, the Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. Let us see what is there from enrichment point of view. Let us start with the vocabulary, effective vocabulary. You're going to learn these words plus another 5 or 10 words. Induce. Induce has got two different meanings. One meaning, induce means to cause something to happen. One meaning, cause something to happen. Another meaning, to persuade someone to do something. Important word. Induce. Syndrome, this is a medical term. Combination of medical problems or combination of medical symptoms that exist continuously and that go with a particular disease. We use the word syndrome. Disrupt, we have got many a time. Disrupt means interrupt. Usually it goes with services. Obliterate, a new word. Obliterate means to destroy completely. That's an important word. Gloomy goes with everyday English. Gloomy means unhappy or sad. Bleak, usually it goes with future. We say bleak future means what? Without any hope. Without any hope. Flush, this goes with everyday English as well as effective English. In the editorial, this has been used. Flush means, in the context, to get rid of. Red tape, we have got many a time. We can also say red tapeism. That is an idiomatic expression. It means bureaucratic hurdles or bureaucratic impediments or official rules. Nascent, again an important word. It means developing or young or growing or budding. All these words you can think of. This is again an idiomatic expression, bode well. A sign of something that is going to happen, either positive or negative, but usually we use it in the negative sentence. It may not bode well, it doesn't bode well. Usually it goes with a negative sentence. And you're going to consolidate the 5 idioms you have learnt already. Hit the road, drive a hard bargain, off the wagon, highways and byways, my way or the highway. And you're going to consolidate 5 phrasal verbs. Bailout twice because 2 different meanings. Back down, back out, and back up. Besides, you're going to work on spot the errors. Today, no para jumble, close test, spot the errors, and reading comprehension skill, questions. And today, to save time, what I have noticed, about 25 to 30 students, they are leaving by 9 o'clock. Actual time, 8 to 9. Tentative time, that is not fixed, plus or minus 10 minutes. I thought better to skip a few slides. Headlines, only one headline I have brought to save time. And what is the headline? Quarantine cottages in Manipur village, rival hill resorts. The huts have been segregated according to the zones from which people are returning. Quarantine cottages, already have got this word many a time, quarantine. It goes with COVID-19, coronavirus outbreak, getting isolated. Quarantine cottages in Manipur village, rival. Here the word rival, it is the word you're going to learn. Hill resorts. Resort could be a noun, it could be a verb. Here it is a noun, hill resort. And as a verb, it goes with violence. Usually we say, don't resort to violence. The crowd has resorted to violence. The huts have been segregated. Another word you're going to learn, segregated, according to the zones from which people are returning. Let us take the first word. It could be a verb, it could be a noun. As a verb, it means, here it has been used, village, their rival, be or seem to be equal or comparable to. Another meaning of rival, a person or thing competing with another. He is my rival. They are our rivals, a typical expression, and it rivals something. It looks like or equals to or comparable to. Hill resorts. Important word. Segregate, the second word. And this is a verb. It is a verb. to keep one thing separate from another. What are the examples? No computer can rival a human brain in complexity. No computer can rival, can equal, and can be compared, can equal to a human brain in complexity. Black residents were segregated from white residents in the area. Means what? They have been separated from one another. So these two words you can learn from one of the headlines. Now let us go to the editorial page, the 4 articles. One for the poor, lockdown syndrome. We are going to spend time on this today. Stop the return to laissez-faire. How do you pronounce it? Laissez-faire. It means open economy, one meaning. No restrictions whatsoever, another meaning. Not getting involved into others' activities, another meaning. It means something like less, only a few rules, not too many rules to control business, then it is rather open. It goes with economy, laissez-faire economy, a typical combination. States cannot be left to the center's mercy. Mercy means what? Kindness. And let us go to the actual editorial. This editorial, what does it talk about? Lockdown syndrome. The word syndrome is a medical term, and we use it sometimes in everyday English as well as effective English. There's one expression called Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome. What does it mean? When a person gets kidnapped, after some time, the kidnapper falls in love with the kidnapper. Then we call the one who gets kidnapped falls in love with the kidnapper. That is known as Stockholm syndrome. But here, syndrome means a group of symptoms or medical problems, combination of symptoms or medical problems, continuously they exist and they go with a particular disease. Then we use the word syndrome. Here, lockdown syndrome on virus-induced economic crisis. Virus-induced. Induced means what? Caused. On virus-induced economic crisis. This editorial talks about the various problems, the negative impact of this virus-induced economic crisis, and it provides statistical data to substantiate the statement. What is the next sentence? What does it talk about? Quick recovery from the virus-induced economic crisis is possible with good policies. How can we come out of this crisis? Quick recovery. How can we recover quickly from the virus-induced economic crisis? It is possible with good policies. Here the key word is policies. Now, this is a crisis, economic crisis. We have been going through economic crisis. To substantiate that statement, the editorial provides statistical data. Official data capturing the economic impact of the nationwide lockdown are starting to pour in slowly. Starting to pour in, starting to come in. They mean the same. And here there's one word which is very important. You have to remember, very important from the exam point of view. Official data, datum singular. Here if you look at the word datum, that is singular, data plural. And datum, it takes a singular verb, data takes a plural verb. But data is also considered a collective noun. When we consider the word data a collective noun, it takes a singular verb. The data is astonishing. The data is astonishing. I have used data as a collective noun. But here, plural form of datum, then the plural verb, data are. That you have to focus on. Official data capturing the economic impact of the nationwide lockdown are starting to pour in slowly. That means what? We have been getting information regarding this negative impact of the COVID-19 or coronavirus. Now the data. The country's industrial output as measured by the Index of Industrial Production, IIP, contracted by 16.7% in March, contracted, shrunk. So here, shrunk by 16.7%, according to the statistics released by government on Tuesday. Again, there is one important word here, important from the exam point of view. The word statistics, if it talks about data, and it may take singular verb or plural verb. Usually it takes a plural verb. But if you use the word statistics as a subject, it takes a singular verb. Like economics, it takes a singular verb, it takes a plural verb, because it has got other meanings. The same thing goes with statistics. Statistics released by the government on Tuesday. This is in contrast, again an expression, a standard expression, in contrast to. This is in contrast to a growth rate of 2.7% witnessed during the same month last year. Same month last year, March last year, there was increase 2.7%. Now this year, because of the negative impact of COVID-19, contracted and shrank by 16.7%. The sharp fall, obviously the fall is sharp. The sharp fall can largely be explained by the nationwide lockdown that was imposed by the center in the last week of the month. What is the reason for this contraction or shrinking? Obviously, the sharp fall can largely be explained. Can be explained. Largely is an adverb. We can explain something. Something can be explained, so it is in passive voice. By the nationwide that was lockdown, that was imposed. This is an important word. Impose means to force. Another meaning of the word impose, to thrust upon someone or something. Imposed by the center in the last week of the month. And specific sector, now the editorial talks about sector-wise the impact or the negative impact. The manufacturing sector, which is considered a key sector, one of the key sectors, the manufacturing sector, which witnessed a contraction of about 20%, was the worst hit among the key sectors. Was the worst hit, past, the worst hit, superlative form, among the key sectors. More than two, we use the preposition among. Among the key sectors, the manufacturing sector was the worst hit, perhaps due to disruptions in the labor market caused by the lockdown. What could be the reason? The reason, obviously, not perhaps, obviously, disruptions. What is the meaning of the word disruption? It means interruption. Interruption in the labor market, services caused by the lockdown. In terms of end goods, capital goods and consumer durables witnessed a roughly one-third contraction in size as the sale of non-essential goods was obliterated by the unexpected lockdown. In terms of end goods, capital goods and consumer durables, capital goods, the goods which are used to produce something, and customers don't buy capital goods. They're part of manufacturing process and they're used to produce a particular product which eventually goes to the consumer. In terms of end goods, capital goods and consumer durables witnessed a roughly one-third contraction in size as the sale of non-essential goods was obliterated by the unexpected lockdown. Obliterated, an important word. What is the meaning of the word obliterate? Obliterated, destroyed completely, to wipe out, to destroy. Analysts say that industrial output is likely to fall even further in April when the economy was in complete shutdown. March it was like that, now April it is going to be worse. That's what analysts say. Analysts say that industrial output is likely to fall even further in April. Again, the word further is important from the exam point of view. And further in April, when the economy was in complete shutdown. In fact, some estimates suggest that the economy's overall output in the first quarter of financial year 21 could be cut by 1/4, and growth for the whole financial year could well turn out to be negative. Come out to be negative. And here it talks about, again, the negative impact. It talks about the impact in the first quarter of financial year 21. It could be cut by 1/4, and growth for the whole financial year could well turn out to be negative. Obviously, it is going to be negative. That goes without saying. So March's gloomy industrial production figures. Gloomy, sad, depressed, no hope. Another meaning of the word gloomy. Usually we say, why do you look so gloomy? Gloomy atmosphere. And gloomy, it goes with clouds, all those dark clouds, we say gloomy. And persons, gloomy appearance and gloomy situation. Gloomy industrial production figures are likely to be soon forgotten. March, we may forget soon. So March's gloomy industrial production figures are likely to be soon forgotten. This is in passive voice. Likely to forget, active voice. Likely to be forgotten, it is passive voice. As a flood of bleak economic data hits the country further down the road. A flood of bleak economic data. There's one word, bleak, without any hope. Usually it goes with future. We say the future is bleak. Bleak future. Here it talks about a flood of bleak economic data hits the country further down the road. Remember this expression, further down the road, down 5 years, down the line. These are standard expressions. Further down the road means in the near future. That said, it should be noted that financial year 20 IIP growth was set to post a weak show even before the lockdown was imposed in late March. Before the lockdown also it was not positive, it was rather negative, not strong, rather weak. The COVID-19 crisis must have aggravated the situation. The COVID-19 crisis being a temporary external shock. Being a temporary external shock, again grammar point of view, important. Much like demonetization in 2016, but much larger in scale, can theoretically lead to a quick bounce back in economic activity once the lockdown is lifted. Once the lockdown is lifted, we may bounce back. The economy or economic activity may bounce back. And the editorial gives the example of what happened at the time of demonetization in the year 2016. But this is much larger in scale, can theoretically lead to a quick bounce back, comeback. Bounce back is a positive expression in economic activity once the lockdown is lifted. Perhaps 2 or 3 months after that, the economy bounces back, that is on a positive note. But the actual pace of the recovery in industrial production and even the wider economy will depend on the policy environment created by the government after the crisis. To bounce back, what is important? A contrasting word. This is an important statement, but the actual pace means speed, pace of the recovery in industrial production and even the wider economy will depend on the policy environment. What matters now? Policies matter a lot. Policy environment or policy ambience created by the government after the crisis. The economic rescue measures announced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Wednesday, such as more loans to small and medium-scale enterprises and looser credit standards, can help the recovery by allowing businesses to find their feet soon. There is one idiomatic expression, to find their feet soon. Means what? Again, to become stable, to recover, and to reach that good situation to do business. The economic rescue measures announced by the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman on Wednesday, such as more loans to small and medium-scale enterprises and looser credit standards, can help the recovery by allowing businesses to find their feet soon. Obviously, something goes without saying, obviously, the key will lie in the implementation of these measures. Will lie, this is an important word. The key, where is the key? The key will lie in the implementation of these measures. Generally what happens, ideas, plans, proposals, people are very good at ideas, coming up with ideas and coming up with plans. But usually they fail when it comes to implementation. Editorial talks about that. The key is with implementation of these measures. Previous attempts by the Reserve Bank of India and the government to flush the system with liquidity, after all, have failed to improve credit flow to businesses. What they did in the past did not work out, and I think it ends on that particular note. No. Previous attempts by the Reserve Bank of India and the government to flush, to get rid of the system, there are two meanings, flush. One is to get rid of, another to pump in a lot of money, the system with liquidity, after all, have failed to improve credit flow to businesses. How does the editorial end? The government must also ensure that bureaucratic red tapeism means what? Bureaucratic hurdles, does not kill any nascent recovery at a time when businesses whose balance sheets have been hit hard by the crisis need the freedom to adjust to a new economic reality. What is important here? The government must also ensure that bureaucratic red tape or hurdles does not kill. Red tape, it is considered singular, does not kill any nascent recovery. Nascent, an important word. What does it mean? Growing, budding, or developing, newly born, developing. Nascent recovery at a time when businesses whose balance sheets have been hit hard. This is in present perfect passive voice. To get hit hard means what? To get affected badly by the crisis need the freedom to adjust to a new economic reality. The government's emphasis on self-reliance as its new economic agenda, however, does not bode well for such hopes. This ends on a negative note. The government's emphasis on self-reliance, we got the editorial all about Swadeshi economic policies and self-reliance as its new economic agenda. Agenda goes with meetings. Whenever there is a meeting, the first question, what is the agenda? List of things to be discussed. However, does not bode well for such hopes. It's not a good sign for such hopes. That's what it talks about. That's all about today's editorial. Now let us go to enrichment from vocabulary point of view. Syndrome, combination of medical problems or symptoms continuously that exist for a long time and associated with a particular disease. Syndrome, induced, caused. Another meaning of the word induced, to persuade someone to do something. Impose, force or thrust upon. Disruptions, interruptions. Obliterated, destroyed. Gloomy, unhappy. Obliterated, important word. Gloomy goes with everyday English. Bleak, without hope. And flush, to get rid of. Flush out, to clear. Usually it goes with terrorist. They have flushed out the terrorist from that particular place. Flush out means what? To remove. But here it has a different connotation, to pump in. Red tape, official hurdles, an important, but usually we say red tapeism. Nascent, an important word, budding, growing, developing. Agenda, list of items, goes with meetings. Bode well, this is an idiomatic expression. What is the meaning of that? Sign of something that will happen in future. It could be positive, it could be negative. Not too many words. Let us go to word of the day. Obliterate, an important word. It is a regular verb. Obliterate, obliterated, obliterated. Destroy completely or wipe out. What are the word forms? Obliterate, verb. Obliterated, adjective. Obliteration, noun. Word combinations. Obliterate something. Obliterate painful memories. Means what? Wipe out painful memories. Synonyms. Annihilate, an important word. Annihilate. Extirpation, an important word. Eradicate, rather easy. Do remember these two words, important from the exam point of view. Antonyms, create, establish or build. What is the example? All of a sudden, the view was obliterated by the fog. The view was obliterated, completely destroyed or blocked by the fog. Common error. This is based on grammar. He didn't inform the students yesterday. This sentence is in past tense negative. A lot of people make this mistake. Those who are otherwise good at English also. It is past tense, interrogative or negative. The main verb should be in the basic form or infinitive without to. We call it bare infinitive. He didn't inform, not informed. That is not correct. He didn't inform the students yesterday. Again, a common error. He didn't went there last evening. Not correct. He didn't go there last evening. This go, this inform, it is not the present form. I repeat, it is not the present form. It is a basic form or infinitive without to. If the basic form or infinitive without to, we call it bare infinitive. If you ask, sir, why should we use bare infinitive here? It is past tense. Already we have used the past form here. There are two verbs in these sentences. One, did, the other, inform. Did, go. The first one, do, to do is a basic form. Do, present. Did, past. Because it is past tense, we have used the past form. Since we have already used the past form, they must have thought, English grammarians, for the second and the main verb, we should use the basic form without to. That means we should use the bare infinitive. This is very important, and they have given in so many exams. What is there to learn from grammar point of view? Official data, this is very important. By some students, they think data are is correct, data is wrong. It is not like that. First, you have to read the sentence meticulously, understand the context. If the word refers to a plural noun, then are is correct. If the word is used as a collective noun, then it may take a singular verb. Their data is very useful. Quite often we say that. Then data is a collective noun. This is very important from the exam point of view. This is in contrast to. Again, remember the standard expression, in contrast to something. Important. The sharp fall can largely be explained. If you find something confusing, remove the words that are not essential or put the words that are not indispensable in brackets and try to read that part of the sentence. Can be explained. Largely may trouble. That is an adverb, not important. Put it in brackets, read the part. Can be explained. Then you understand it is in passive voice. I can explain something. Something can be explained by me. Important this one. Was the worst hit. Bad, worse, worst. It is a superlative form of the adjective bad. And any superlative form, if you take the adjectives, we have to use the definite article the. The worst hit among the key sectors. Again, the word among is important. Two persons or two things, we use between. More than two, we use among. Industrial output is likely to fall even further in April. Likely to fall. The word likely always takes a preposition to. Likely to fall, likely to go, likely to win, likely to post, likely to write. Remember the pattern. And even further, again, this comes, and this is important rather. Further talks about addition, something more, further studies, further in April, but farther, FAR far, it goes with the distance. Remember that way. Could be cut by 1/4. Again, this is in passive voice. It could cut something, it could be cut. Here the verb is cut, all the three forms cut. It is in past participle form. Are likely to be soon forgotten. Again, likely to be soon forgotten. This is important. It is in passive voice. We are likely to forget something. Something is likely to be forgotten by us. Again, here the word soon. It may trouble you. Put it in brackets. Likely to forget something. Likely to be forgotten. Passive voice. Crisis being a temporary external shock. Incident being a stimulus. Statement being a trigger for something. So remember this pattern as well. The key will lie. This is an important verb. I think we got yesterday. Lie, lay, lain, lay, laid, laid, and lie, lied, lied. Very important. Whenever you come across the word lie, you got to be very careful, cautious rather. The key will lie in the implementation. This is future tense. The government must also ensure that, it is in active voice, not in passive voice. It must also emphasis, ensure that. And what is the use of the word must, helping verb? It has two different functions. One, it conveys the idea that something is compulsory. Another, it is used to express a personal obligation. They have been hit hard by the crisis. Have been hit, present perfect passive voice, but standard expression, hit hard, have been hit hard means have got affected seriously. Another important word here, crisis. Crisis is singular, crisis plural. You have to remember that, recollect that as well. Now, what is there to learn from comprehension point of view? What is this editorial about? Try to write a paragraph, 5 or 6 sentences, own sentences. That will help you in the long run. Which sector was the worst hit among the key sectors? Easy to answer, explicit information. The sale of which goods was obliterated by the unexpected lockdown? Again, keywords obliterated. Find in the editorial, you get the answer. And worst hit among the key sectors. What has failed to improve credit flow to businesses? Failed credit flow, again look for those words, you find the answer. What has the potential to kill any nascent recovery? Potential, you don't find that word in the editorial, but you may find nascent recovery. Based on that, try to get the answer. That's it from the editorial. Now it is time for you guys to respond. Have a look at the words and respond. I see. Okay, students have started responding. First one, part of speech syndrome, it is a noun. What is the meaning of that? Combination of symptoms or medical problems associated with a particular disease. I can't write all that. That is the reason why I have been saying. Don't stop here. Combination of symptoms or medical problems associated with a particular disease that appear continuously. Answer is, I'll take here. F is the answer. Induced. Induced has got two different meanings. One is caused, another to persuade someone. Oh, you guys have gone to the third one. Second, induced. It's a regular verb. What is the answer? Second one is A, caused. Go to the third one, disruption, plural, disruptions. Obviously, it has to be disrupt is a verb, disruption, noun. So here you could write disrupt, that is a verb. You could also write noun. But this one is a noun. What is the meaning of disruptions? Interruptions, that's right. Answer is E. E is the answer. Go to the fourth one. That is an important word, obliterated. What is the meaning of obliterated? I see some students are with the third one. Try to go to the fourth one. A few have gone to the fifth one. Obliterate, it is a verb. What is the meaning of that? Destroyed, completely destroyed. You can also think of the expression wipe out. Annihilation, extirpation. Those two words are very important. Destroyed, wipe out, easy to remember, but your focus should be on annihilation and extirpation. Those words usually you come across in passages. Gloomy, part of speech. Gloomy is not a noun. No. Gloomy person, gloomy atmosphere, gloomy ambience. It cannot be a noun. It has to be adjective. What is the meaning of that? Unhappy. B is the answer. Unhappy. Go to the sixth one. Bleak. Bleak future. What part of speech is it? Bleak is also adjective. What is the meaning of bleak? It is no. Bleak means without hope. Without hope. H is the answer. Flush, it has got two different meanings. I have given the other meaning. Flush, it's a regular verb. Flush, flushed, flushed. What is the meaning of that? It is a verb. Seven, verb, answer D. To get rid of. That's right. To get rid of. That's right. Sandeep. You have typed 7 times. 7 times D. Go to the 8th one. Red tape. Red tapeism. It cannot be an adjective. It has to be a noun. No one likes red tape. No one likes red tapeism. Red tapeism is detrimental to the progress of a country. Detrimental, dangerous to the progress of a country. So it is a noun. What is the meaning of that? Bureaucratic hurdles. Careful with spelling of bureaucracy. Bureaucratic hurdles. Answer is I. Nascent, an important word. nascent project, nascent venture. Obviously, it has to be adjective. What is the meaning of that? C, budding. Budding, growing, developing. Yes, that's right. What are you left with? Bode well. It is idiomatic expression. Please write idiom. Okay. What are you left with? J. Sign of something that will happen in future, either positive or negative. Either positive or negative. Has anyone got all the 10 correct? Then you should be happy. Let us go to the next exercise. Today I have brought 6 sentences. You should get all the 6 correct. They are rather easy. Should not be a problem. 10, you should be very happy. These are not easy. All words go with effective English, and you have to. Thank you very much. Spot the errors at the outset. Rather easy. You should get all the 6 correct. It should be 6. That is good score. Importance of parts of speech in exam. Usually parts of speech, I tell students, are very important. Why are they important from the exam point of view? When it comes to spot the errors, quite often they ask questions based on parts of speech. How do they ask? They give questions where they use the right word but the wrong form. They have to use the adjective form, but they use the adverb form. They're supposed to use the noun form, they use the verb form. So once you know how to identify the part of speech, you know that the word is right but the form is not correct, you can spot the error. Spot the errors, that will be useful. Knowledge related to parts of speech. When it comes to double fillers or single fillers, again, you can take the elimination approach based on the context, based on the word before, the word after the blank. You can decide the part of speech, and then you can get the right word. When it comes to cloze test, again, knowledge related to parts of speech, very useful. Imagine a particular blank takes an adjective. Then among the options, you should know which one is an adjective, and you see 3 options, they are not adjectives. Straight away you can eliminate. That saves your time. Like this, knowledge related to parts of speech, very useful when it comes to cloze test, when it comes to spot the errors, when it comes to phrase replacement, when it comes to single fillers and double fillers. There are 4 areas. Then if you ask me, sir, how to find out the part of speech of a particular word in a sentence, that should be the question. Because in English, we use the same word as a different part of speech. In one sentence, it could be a verb. Another sentence, it could be a noun. The third sentence, it could be an adjective. Then comes the question, how to find out. Any sentence, if you want to find out the part of speech of a particular word, ask the question, in this sentence, what is this word doing? What is its function? Based on the function, you can make out. If it names someone or something, it's a noun. If it describes a noun, it is an adjective. If it expresses an action in relation to time, it is a verb. If it describes a verb, it is an adverb. That's it. There ends the matter. Now let us go to sentence number 1. Where is the error? In 2 road accidents, 15 migrant laborers lost their lives or lives. Here, this is not correct. Certain nouns, if you take, what is the word here? No, I'll change. You take the word life. What is the plural of life? It is not lives, it is lives. The same way you have wife. What is the plural of that? Wives. You also have knife. What is the plural of that? Knives. So here it is not life. Plural is not lives, it is lives. An important one, exam point of view. Where is the error? Sentence number 2. My pleasure. Here, post-lockdown, the union government will continue staggered and variable work hours for their employees with the personal ministry floating a draft consultation paper on best work from home practices. Working hours, nothing wrong with that. Stagger, nothing wrong. No problem here. Where is a stagger? Nothing wrong with this. This is an easy one. Best, on the best, no, nothing. Venki has got it right. I don't know about others, could not see, but I have just seen. Venki has got it right. Here, what is the subject? Post-lockdown, the union government, subject is government. And you cannot use a plural pronoun. Union government will do something for their employees. It is not correct. Its employees. What is the right word here? Its employees. Government, subject. And pronoun, their, plural pronoun, not correct. It should be a singular pronoun. What is it? Its. Where is it? Will continue. Yes, of course, will continue. Nothing wrong with that part. Here it is not their employees, its employees. This is an important one. What is this about? Subject, pronoun, agreement. Subject, pronoun, agreement. Quite often in the exam, yes, there is bare infinitive. Continue is what? Continue is the bare infinitive. I don't know why you're talking about that. Will continue. Will continue. There's no problem with that. That is bare infinitive. Why do you say that Sainath? Here, there's no problem with will. Government will continue. What is the verb here? Continue is a verb. That is in bare infinitive. Staggered is not the verb. Oh, your problem is this. Here the verb is continue. Continue with what? Staggered and variable work hours. Here staggered is an adjective. And variable, adjective. I think you got confused over there. I think you must have got stuck over there. No problem, no problem. Now let me talk about this question. Important from the exam point of view. They ask questions related to subject pronoun agreement, object pronoun agreement. And if you don't read the sentence meticulously, not easy to get. I hope you got it. Sentence number 3. Fine. This is again not that difficult. You should get within no time. Yes, staggered work hours and variable work hours. Perfect. For emphasis, they must have used. Built. Sri Krishna has got it right. A lot of students have got it right. Here, in the exam, imagine you come across a sentence like this. There's a reason why I have brought this one. In the exam, imagine the same sentence. Both. Obviously, the word both takes not as well as it takes and. It takes what? And. And in the exam, you come across a similar sentence. Once you spot this error, don't read the remaining part of the sentence. Save your time. You have to save your time. No point in reading other parts. Here, what is it? Both. What is the combination? I will write the first common error. Both as well as. It is not correct. What is the correct expression? Both and. This is correct. But quite often people say both as well as. That is not correct. It is related to conjunctions. Now go to sentence number 4. Rather easy, should not be a problem. Yes, Nagamani has got it right. Nagamani, remember this month completely consolidation when it comes to idioms and phrasal verbs. Yesterday looks like you were rather disappointed. Again, consolidation. Entire month I'm going to do consolidation. What is the reason? Every day I give 5 phrasal verbs, 5 idioms, not practically possible to remember. 2 months I did it. Coming 2 months, or at least this month, I want you guys to consolidate what you have already learned. That is the objective behind. There's nothing wrong with giving. I can give thousands of idioms, thousands of phrasal verbs. That is not an issue at all. But consolidation is very important. So this is rather easy. A lot of students have got it right. Violence breaks out. Here, remember the phrasal verb, break out. An important one. What is the meaning of that? To start suddenly. It goes with clashes, fights, violence, volcanic eruptions, all these. Fire. A fire broke out in the city last night. And returning workers more than two, then definitely you cannot use between. You have to use among. Here you have to recollect, you all know this, between two persons, among more than two. You should also recollect the difference between among and amongst. What is the difference? If the word begins with a vowel letter or a vowel sound, we should use amongst, not among. Also, amongst is something like, it goes with effective English and written English. Sentence number 5. Where is the error? This is also an easy one. That's why I said today you should get all the 6 correct, but I don't think, let us wait till the last one, then I will ask the question. Yes, that's right. Whenever you come across a particular question related to a particular aspect, try to be smart, try to recollect related rules and related expressions. That will help you in the long run. But you take an isolated approach, one rule, one mistake, one rule, no, it doesn't help in the long run. Try to recollect the related information. When will we use between? When we differentiate similar things. And I would like to tell between, excuse me, between, usually we say it goes with two persons or two things. But exceptions are there. When we talk about similar things, we want to differentiate similar things. More than two also, we can use between. She could not decide between the Harvard University, the Princeton University, and the Yale University. I have mentioned 3 universities. Still, I have used the preposition between. The sentence is absolutely right. That's a very good question, Rajashekar. But generally, two persons or two things between, more than two among. But when we talk about similar things, we want to differentiate. More than two also, we can use between. Now go to sentence number 5. Where is the error? This is rather easy. One of the, when you see the phrase one of the, you have to recollect the rule, not one rule, 3 rules. Here you have to think of 3 rules. In all the 3 rules, the noun is in the plural form. Noun is in plural form. What is a noun here? Driver. That is singular. It is not correct. It should be. One of the foremost drivers. A common error. One of the students is absent is correct, but common error, one of the student is absent. That is not correct. Thank you very much. Yesterday PDF, I think I gave with annotations, am I right? No, that was a mistake. I just wanted to see your reaction, your response. You are the only one to respond. Who is this? Mahendra. I gave yesterday's PDF, I think you got with annotations. That was not rather intentional, and for a change I wanted to do that, but I cannot do it every day. I cannot give with annotations. There are certain limitations. Now go to sentence number 6. Where is the error? You have to write the correct expression. Yes, Harsha, you're right. Let SK Saina also right. Vivek is right. That was not, you can't expect that every day. Where is the error? A lot of students have got it right. It is not use, it is used car dealers. What is the right word? Use is not correct. Used car dealers. Used. Which part of speech is used? It is adjective. car dealers, used car, used car. That is a expression. Dealers, those who deal with used cars. But here you have to recollect two helping verbs. One, would, another, used to. What is the use of would? What is the use of used to? They are used to express past habits. Past habits we use would and used to. Would more stylish, and in our country, the expression used to is quite popular. I used to do this, I used to do that. People use this regularly. But native speakers, they use I would do this, I would do that. Both mean the same. Now please go to, now the $1,000,000 question. Who has got all the 6 correct? I want to see your response. Who has got all the 6 correct? He is expected and, yes, why not? That's what I said. In one sentence, we can use any number of tenses. We can use present, we can use past, we can use future, we can use present perfect. It all depends on the idea. Based on the idea, you can use different tenses. There's no rule that in one sentence you have to use only present, in one sentence you have to use only past. Absolutely, there are no hard and fast rules in English. In one sentence, based on the idea, you can use present, past, or future. No problem as such. Who says all correct? Sridhar says, and who else? Only one name I have seen. And Divya also. Oh, Dilip. Good. I appreciate all those students. Those who have got all the 6 correct. Wonderful. 5 is also highly appreciable. You should be very happy. Let us go to, today there is no para-jumble. Let us go to Cloze test. Some important words are there. International context. You, again, remember, we have limited time. In this limited time, I should try to give the best. One thing, I should try to give what is feasible. I should not be over-ambitious. Initially, when I started, it was only for 30 minutes. To make it a fruitful session, later it got extended more information, 45 minutes, then 60 minutes. Now it is like plus or minus 10 minutes. Beyond that, we cannot stretch. Always remember that within the stipulated time period and to the extent possible, we should get the maximum. That is the idea behind. So, for a change, here I am not able to give the options for each blank. Try to get, in that situation, what are you supposed to do? You should get all the 6 correct. First one, students say. Thank you very much, Pawan. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. This man speaks very well. He's a very good public speaker. And you'll be surprised to know, when till 9th class he didn't know English, but in 9th he had to go to the US with his father. Then eventually he was a student of MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. Then number 1 when it comes to engineering colleges or engineering institutes. Based on MIT, in our country they started IITs. And eventually he became the Prime Minister of Israel. And if you listen to his speeches, he speaks very well. He's a very good public speaker. His English is flawless and impeccable. And what is the first one? A lot of students have said, 4th option, rival turned partner. Rival, you have learnt already today. 2 meanings. One, it means a person who competes with you. And another meaning, something that equals something else. What is the second one? Rival turned partner, Benny Gantz, on Thursday postponed the swearing in of their, what? Second one. Third, that's right, controversial new government. From the context, you should understand controversial is the right word. This is based on contextual awareness. This is rather easy, based on the word turned partner, enemy turned partner, rival turned partner, you can easily make out. But here, overall context, you can decide controversial new government as the Israeli leader rushed to infighting. What is a clue for you? Infighting. This goes with word combinations or collocations. And some students say it is the fifth one. That is right. Quell infighting. Quell means to put an end to something, stop, or to put an end to something. Here, put an end to infighting, fighting within the party. That is absolutely right. And an important word, you got to remember this. Controversial, rather easy. Rival, rather easy. What is the fourth one? To hand out Mr. Netanyahu more time to hand out what? Coveted, that's right. Coveted cabinet appointments. Here, cabinet appointments, you need an adjective. What is the adjective here? Coveted. Generally, it goes with coveted post. If you take in our country, today bank officer post has become a coveted post. Bank job has become a coveted job. Means what? Most sought after. That's an important word. Coveted means most sought after. What is the next one? After 3 and divisive elections, deadlocked. There was always 3 times deadlock. Deadlocked and divisive elections. And what is the last one? And a year and a half of political paralysis. Political paralysis means what? They could not do anything. They could not form a government. There is no buffering problem. Only one student says it is at your end, not here. If a lot of students say buffering problem, then I have a problem here. But all the students have been responding. There is no problem. That could be at your end, not only one student says that. So not at this end. Now the question, who has got all the 6 correct? That is the objective here. All the 6, you should be very happy. I see a lot of students. 5 is also good enough, but 6, you should be very happy. Now, this is an important idiomatic expression. Based on this, a lot of important words you can learn. Portent, important word. Augur, important word. Presage, important word. Herald, again important. Prophecy, important. And adumbrate, important. How many words from one idiom? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus this one. You can learn 7. All the 7 are important. You can't afford to forget one of them also. All the 7 important. Do remember, exam point of view. Now it is time to consolidate what you have already learned. Phrasal verbs, bailout. Bailout 2 times. Based on the context, you have to decide. Bail out. Bailout. Back down, back out, back up. Yes, some of them have a positive connotation, some have a negative connotation. Herald, usually a positive connotation. That's right. 1, 4. Decide not to do something because of opposition or because of pressure from authorities. Are you going this way or that way? 1B. Bailout. Bailout, 2 examples. To help out someone or something that is in serious trouble. Here, bailout, you could use 4th one. If you use the 4th one, bail out someone, to help out someone or something that is in serious trouble. Then for the next one, bail out here, to give money to a court so that an accused person doesn't have to stay in jail until their trial begins. Bailed out. You have to use 5th one here. Now you decide. Back down, back out, back up. Back down. Again, back down, back up, a little confusing. Back out, also confusing. Let us use evidence or example to show that it is true. Back up something, back up your statement. So what is the answer here? Back up your statement means what? Substantiate your statement. Now you have to decide. Back down, back out. Back out usually goes with decide not to follow through an agreement or a deal. backed out of the deal. That is the answer. Back down, answer is the first one. A4, B1, C2, D5, E3. That's right. Now go to idioms. These are rather easy, should not be a problem. Yeah, that's wonderful, Vivek. All correct. Good, Sai Krishna. There is no buffering problem. Buffering problem, one or two students say it is not a problem because others have been responding. Maybe at your end there is a problem. Hit the road. What is the meaning of that? This is rather easy. To begin traveling, to leave a place to go away. Drive a hard bargain. This goes with the business deals. I know, no buffering problem. I can make out. Things have been going smoothly. A4, that is right. What is B? Drive a hard bargain. It is, B is 1. That's right. Negotiate forcefully. Off the wagon. No longer able to abstain from a habit. That is also right. 3. Highways and byways. Highways and byways. D. Fifth one, major and minor roads. What is the last one? My way or the highway. People have to do what you say, otherwise they will have to leave or quit the project. Hope you got all the 5 correct. Yes, E is 2. Perfect. Now this is rather challenging. The last exercise, challenging, disastrous, part of speech, disastrous decision, disaster noun, disastrous adjective. What is the meaning of disaster, disastrous? Try to answer 1H, that's right. Very good, all the 5 correct. Lakshmi and so many other students. Please go to 1H. What is it? Extremely bad or unsuccessful. Disastrous. Thank you very much. Who is this? Manasa. My pleasure. Victimized. Victimized people. Victimized community. What part of speech is it? Adjective. What is the meaning of that? Treated unfairly. D is the answer. Please go to the next one. 1H over 2D over wet is rather difficult. What is the answer? The third one. Third one, noun. No, it is a verb. Vet has 2 different meanings. A veterinary doctor, then it's a noun, but here it means A, examine. Then it is a verb. It is a verb. Vet something, examine something. Go to the third one, fourth one. Unprecedented. Unprecedented disease. Unprecedented something. So it is adjective. What is the meaning? Never done or known before. Answer is I. Unprecedented. Lockdown. Solidarity. Part of speech, obviously noun. What is the meaning of solidarity? G. Unity. Absolutely right. One student also, I will write the answer because you have already learnt all these. Unmitigated. Unmitigated. Unmitigated efforts. Adjective. Mitigate is a verb. But here, unmitigated efforts means what? Absolute or complete, unmitigated. Go to the 6th one. What is the answer, 6th one? A lot of students are with the 5th one. Okay. B is the answer. That's right. Absolute or complete. unmitigated. Perfect. Go to the seventh one, oversight. Oversight, we can't accept the oversight. Then it is a noun. What is the meaning of that? In this context, oversight means unintentional failure to notice. E is the answer. What is the eighth one? Epidemic. Endemic, epidemic, pandemic. Now these words are in the limelight. Part of speech, noun or adjective. Pandemic, it could be a noun, it could be an adjective. Right, both. What is the meaning of that? Already we have done this. I is over. A widespread infectious disease. F is the answer. Fervently, an important word. Fervently, obviously, it has to be an adverb. He has done the work fervently. Means what? Passionately. Answer is J. Desperate. Part of speech, desperate people, desperate workers. Adjective. What is the meaning? What are you left with? Hopeless. Badly in need of something. Badly in need of something. Has anyone got all the 10 correct? Consolidation. You should get all the 10 correct. Today, rather surprising, still 295 students. That is good, highly appreciable. That's it for today. Hope you guys have got enriched. I will see you tomorrow with another editorial to enrich your language proficiency. 9 is also good enough, I appreciate, but all the 10 outstanding. Who is this Venki? Oh, so many students. Nikita. So difficult to read the names. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Have a wonderful day. Stay home, stay safe, and spend your time on your preparation. Use this time effectively. See an opportunity in the crisis. We have been going through a crisis, and take this crisis as an opportunity to use the time effectively. Thank you.